All right, guys, this is my blood work after doing 3 weeks, 22 days to be exact, of the carnivore diet, mostly meat diet, ketogenic. Most days I would have like a pound and a half of ground beef, T-bone steak, and I would have tilapia, fish, and eggs, and avocado. So it's a ketogenic diet as well, mostly carnivore. And this test was done after doing 22 days specifically of the carnivore ketogenic diet. And I got the blood work in. As you can see here, I'm a 44-year-old male, weighed 280 at the time of this testing. I've gained weight since then because of just crashing and binge eating on junk food. And so the test does concern me. And you could, by the way, you could see all the meals that I ate for 22 days straight on this channel, because I would literally record the meal, eating every single meal for 22 days, actually 30 to be exact. And as you can see, I had one day I would have um, ground beef, like a pound and a half of ground beef at one sitting. And most days I would just eat one meal a day because that's really all I wanted. I was just completely satisfied with the meal. I felt completely strong all day. Didn't feel like I needed a nap. It just felt great. But the numbers are concerning. These are the cholesterol numbers. As you can see here, overall cholesterol 261, should be below 200. HDL is 35. That's the good cholesterol. That was below 35. It's supposed to be over 40. The good cholesterol is what attaches to the bad cholesterol and moves it out of the body. Triglycerides 254. That's like lipids. Sky high, should be below 150. LDL is 181. It's literally double than what it should be. It should be below 100. And LDL is the bad cholesterol. That's what literally puts belly fat on. And literally you could take the blood out and you could see, doctors could see, nurses could see the fat in the blood. And so my doctor recommended Crestor, which is a statin drug to reduce cholesterol. And I'm like, well, let's give it another. Let me see what else I can do. Let me try to lose weight. Because weight gain and being heavy will cause high cholesterol and lack of exercise. So I want to try to do something, guys. And I don't know if this is the right path, the carnivore diet for me right now. You'll see here later on this test that my liver looks to be damaged. Kidney's not performing like it should. Here's my kidney results. The bun is like 16. And the bun is like nitrogen in your blood, and that's what breaks down. Proteins and everything. Bun's decent. It's 16. It should be between 7 and 25, and so that's a kidney marker, which I'm happy about. Creatinine is 1.36. It's a little high. It should be below 1.35. Creatinine is the breakdown of muscle in your body. And so it's how well the kidneys are filtering that out before it gets into your blood. So the creatine is a little high. If you guys have been following my channel, I had kidney failure in the summertime because I went on 3-week water fasting where I was just drinking water. And both my kidneys shut down. I had blockages, kidney stones in both kidneys. And it's actually it's like a viral video that I have about kidney failure and water fasting. And I was in the hospital for 2 days. And fortunately, started bouncing back and got out of the hospital. But these two markers, I don't like these either. These are EGFR. These two markers here measure how well your kidneys are filtering. And while it says normal, it's like at the very low end. It should be higher than 60, the non-African American. And then the African American is 73, and mine's it should be below or higher than 60. Mine's 73. Someone my age, I've seen the average should be like 90 or 100. And if you look here at Happy Healthy Vegan, this is a vegan here on YouTube. And he's 51 years old. And look at his blood work. You'll see that his His bun is like 5 liters, which they say it's low, but I think that's great. Creatinine, his is 1.04, awesome. And then his filtration, his is like 86.99. And he's a 51-year-old man. He's older than me. So, I'm 44, and mine's like down to 73 and 63 or whatever. This is a carnivore. I'm sure a lot of you might know who he is. He's Shawn Baker. And he's been on a carnivore diet now for a year straight, but he's always been a proponent for high protein. And he's 51 as well. And his numbers shocked me a little bit. His GFRs are the same as mine, 63 and 73. And his glucose is high. But he does have, he used the exact same blood work lab that I used. But what he said about that is that the GFR doesn't take in consideration the size of you. Like he said, that filtration they're doing for an average 140-pound man. And of course, Shawn Baker, he's well into his 200s, but he's solid muscle. And I'm not muscle, but I'm really heavy. And he said that that's what would lower your eGFR is because it's not taking into consideration your body mass. I'd like to believe that. I hope he's right. Because we know healthy, happy vegan is probably 150, I bet, being that he's a vegan. So, not so happy with the blood work as far as kidneys. The bun creatinine ratio is 12. That's actually not bad. It's supposed to be between 6 and 22. Potassium. There's not potassium in meat. So I would take a large potassium supplement every day. And so my potassium's normal. Calcium is 10, which is awesome. That's from the high protein diet that I was eating. Protein, 6.9. High protein. Albumin. Albumin also is a measure of kidney function and how well it's working. So that makes me happy. Globulin also is a measure of kidney function. And the ratio is as well. Bilirubin is also a function of how well the kidneys are doing. So I'm not too frightened yet about those results. Hopefully in four months I can have a little bit better results. Here are other factors. All this stuff is good except this. This is my liver function, guys. And this really frightens me because it's gotten worse. It was actually not as bad as this 6 months ago. But these here, AST and ALN, measures how well your liver is working and how well it's processing toxins out of your body. So you can see here, mine's 83 for AST, and it's supposed to be below 40, so that's double. ALT, almost, look how high that is, guys. And what I would chalk that up to is eating the high sugar processed food diet for years. We're talking about in my teens, childhood, throughout my 20s and 30s and 40s, of just eating a high processed diet, and it's just pounding away at my liver. Plus, the last few years I've drunk too much alcohol. You saw in a video, a couple of videos back, I had a whole, 12 liters of wine in one sitting. So the wine is concerning, and the wine and the alcohol, the last few years hasn't helped my liver. This is one reason the carnivore diet scares me a little bit right now. And then I should maybe follow more of like Dr. Berg's recommendation. He's a proponent of the ketogenic diet, but he's also big into leafy green vegetables, like kale and spinach and stuff. And he says that helps detoxify and protect the liver and the kidneys while you're going through ketosis. And so, I'm thinking heavily about changing some things up because the liver is bad. Fortunately for the liver, it's the one thing that can be regenerated. If you have cirrhosis, there is a point of no return. But literally, you could deplete 80% of your liver where it's gone, and it completely can regenerate. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen, and you can regenerate it. Unlike the kidneys, once the cells in the kidneys are dead, they're dead. It's like matter. Once you destroy it, it's gone, and it won't regenerate. So here's the other results. This shows like my red blood count, RDW. All this stuff is good. This right here shows my ketones, so this does prove that I was in ketosis. So this is 1+, which is, for an average person, that's high for ketones. So that shows that I was definitely in ketosis, and that the high protein didn't knock me out of ketosis, because some people say high protein will knock you out of ketosis. That didn't happen in this case with me, and I think I think higher fat and lower protein can put you in deeper ketosis. So that was the proteins. All right, and then here this shows like nitrate, bacteria, and testosterone. Here's one I was a little bit surprised about. I was surprised I wasn't higher in testosterone, just because of my strength and everything. As you can see here, my total testosterone was 380, and it should be between 250 and 1100. So I won't say that that's low for a 44-year-old, but it's not high for sure. And the free testosterone, that's 54, and it should be between 35 and 155. So it's on the lower tier of normal. But the testosterone doesn't concern me. My brother told me, I told him my results, and his was like 780. And he is like 3 years older than me. But two things there that would make the difference. Number one, he's normal weight, mostly normal. He's well below 200 pounds, and he's taller than me. And number two, he works out every morning, like he lifts weights. And there's been a lot of research done when you lift weights, but especially if you lift weights in the morning, it will increase your testosterone like crazy. So, yeah, that's the results. But I'll leave it up to you. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think I should just stick with the carnivore diet for another 4 months and lose the weight, some weight, try to lose 50, 60 pounds, and then maybe go back and test, maybe a fasting test, to see if these numbers lower down? Because it was working for me when I was doing it until I crashed and got depressed over Christmas. But do you think I should risk it and do another 4 months of eating 1 meal a day, high carnivore, and just see what the results are, and then change it up if it's not helping? Or do you think that I should go with the Dr. Berg diet and eat high greens, but also some protein, and stay in ketosis with 1 meal a day intermittent fasting? Because I think the intermittent fasting is awesome. And I think it's good for your organs as well, to give them rest. So what do you think? What concerns me is the point of no return, guys. I had a friend or acquaintance in high school, and his father has been in a vegetable state for the last 20 years because he had a stroke. This was like around, in the 90s, and he had a stroke. And literally, he's not able to move. I mean, he's cognitively there, but he wasn't taking his high cholesterol drugs. And maybe he was thinking like me, and boom, gone. Then there's a YouTuber on here. He's you can see him. He's Jack on the Go Show, but he's got a cooking channel, and he's got like a food review channel, and he's always documented where he would eat, fast food and whatever. And he had a stroke, and he literally can't use his right arm. And you can see him cooking, and doing reviews while his wife does the preparation for him, because he can't move his right arm because he had a stroke. So, this is not a video game. It's not like you get killed on a video game. You can put a quarter in and start all over again with your life. It doesn't work that way. So I'm yapping, but I'm like, am I going to yap myself into a grave or to be paralyzed? You know what I mean? So it's I'm a black and white guy. You know, I'm extremes, and it's hard for me to be balanced. It's definitely a negative thing about me. I was always been highly extreme one way or the other. But I don't know. Give me comments. Let me know what you think about this blood test. Does it surprise you that it was this bad?